When the ocean speaks, it whispers of lost creatures returning to our world. And guess what? The ocean is speaking louder than ever. In today's video, we're diving deep into the mystery of rare ocean creatures that were thought to be long gone until now. These creatures are back, and they're causing a wave of excitement. But before we get started, hit that subscribe button like you're a deep-sea diver discovering treasure. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Deadly box jellyfish. You won't believe what's hiding in the waters of Australia. The box jellyfish may look strange with its square shape, but it's actually one of the most venomous animals on Earth. Just a single sting from some of them can kill a person. And here's the wild part. Not all box jellyfish are that deadly. There are different kinds, but only a few are truly dangerous. Still, if you're swimming in Australia, you have to be careful because the deadliest ones live there. They can sting you without even being close, thanks to their long invisible tentacles. Here's something even crazier. This jellyfish can see you. It has clusters of eyes on each side of its body, and some of those eyes are like ours, with a lens, iris, and even a retina. That means it doesn't just float around, it actually watches. Beach signs often warn people to stay out of the water when these creatures are near, but stings still happen more than you'd expect. And sadly, the box jellyfish has already taken lives, and will likely take more in the future. Goblin shark. This shark looks like it came from a horror movie, but it's very real. The goblin shark has been swimming in our oceans for around 125 million years. That's way older than any other shark alive today. Scientists call it a living fossil because it's one of the last of its kind, and it hasn't changed much while other sea creatures evolved. It looks super strange too, nothing like the sharks we see in movies or documentaries. And guess what? It's not scared of going deep. Some have been found more than 1,300 meters below the sea. But here's the freakiest part. It has a jaw that can shoot out to catch prey, just like the alien in the movie Alien. No kidding. This jaw snaps forward in a flash to grab fish that get too close. Nobody knows if the filmmakers were inspired by this real-life sea monster, but the resemblance is wild. Luckily, no other sharks we know have this creepy feature. Just imagine if a great white had it too. Spielberg would have made an even scarier Jaws. Giant spider crab. You won't believe how big this crab really is. Most of us think crabs are small and tasty, right? We see them on our plates or in seafood shows, but the Japanese spider crab is something completely different. This thing is massive. When you stretch out its long legs, it can reach up to 3.7 meters across, longer than a small car. But here's the crazy part. Its body is only about 40 centimeters. That's like a huge spider with a small body, underwater. The first time someone caught one in Japan, they called it Crabzilla because it looked like something from a monster movie. Don't worry though, it's not dangerous to humans. Still, if you ever go diving in Japan and see one crawling near you, it might just give you a heart attack. Anglerfish. This deep-sea monster looks like it crawled straight out of a nightmare. The anglerfish has a creepy glowing light on its head, and it uses that to trick other fish. Just like in Finding Nemo, it lures in curious swimmers like Marlin and Dory, then bam, it tries to eat them in one bite. With its sharp teeth, spooky face, and pitch-black home deep in the ocean, it's no surprise people think it's one of the most evil-looking creatures underwater. But hold on, it gets even weirder and honestly kinda gross. The female anglerfish is way bigger than the male, and when it's time to mate, the male doesn't just hang out. He sticks himself to her body and they literally fuse together, like his body becomes part of hers. He loses his eyes, his organs, everything. It's one of the strangest and creepiest things in nature, and somehow it's totally real. Blobfish. This fish turns into a blob when you bring it up. Deep down in the ocean, where pressure can crush a submarine, lives one of the strangest creatures ever, the blobfish. Down there, it looks totally normal. Its body is built to handle the insane pressure, but when humans pull it to the surface, something weird happens. Without that deep pressure, its body loses shape, turns soft and melts into the blob we all know. People call it the ugliest fish, but that's not fair. The blobfish isn't really ugly, it just doesn't belong up here. It was made for a world we can't survive in, so when we yank it out of that world, it can't handle it. Not all deep-sea animals react this way, but it shows one big truth. Just because we can bring something to the surface doesn't mean we should. Greenland shark. They live longer than most humans can even imagine. The Greenland shark is not your regular sea monster. It's a slow-moving giant that can live up to 500 years. That's right, this shark might have been alive before your great-great-great-grandparents were even born. Scientists believe they live this long because of how cold and deep their home is in the icy Arctic waters. Here's the wildest part. You won't believe how long they wait to have babies. These sharks don't even start reproducing until they're around 150 years old. That's a whole lifetime for most animals. It's still a mystery how they manage to live so long, but one thing's for sure. The Greenland shark is one of the strangest and slowest aging creatures on Earth. Deadly sea snake. You won't believe how dangerous some sea snakes really are. While most snakes on land won't kill you, these underwater killers are a whole different story. The sea snakes we're talking about are behind many human deaths and cause nearly half of all snake bites from ocean creatures. That's not just scary, it's terrifying. Here's what makes them even more insane. They don't care if it's day or night, they're always hunting. They can stay underwater for hours and dive as deep as 100 meters. So, imagine you're swimming or diving peacefully, and then out of nowhere this silent killer slithers by and bites you. That's when things get really bad. The cookie cutter shark. If you ever spot a cookie cutter shark, you'll quickly realize it's not your typical shark. With its strange body and especially its odd mouth, this shark was born to be different. But what makes it truly bizarre is how it eats. Instead of biting into prey like most sharks, it attaches itself to a large creature and takes a big chunk out before swimming away. It's like a real-life dine and dash at sea. But that's not all. This shark can actually glow in the dark. Its underside is covered in special organs that give off a greenish light, which helps it hide from predators below. The only part that doesn't glow is a dark patch near its throat, which tricks bigger fish into coming closer. Then, when they're curious enough, the cookie cutter shark takes its bite. It spends most of its time deep in the ocean, often over 1,000 meters down, only coming up to around 300 meters to feed. How creepy is that? The Portuguese man-of-war. The Portuguese man-of-war is one of the most unique creatures you'll ever come across. It might look like just another jellyfish, but it's actually something totally different. It's called a siphonophore, a special type of animal made up of tiny beings known as zooids. These zooids work together, acting as if they're one creature, even though there are thousands of little beings in one body. Even though it seems harmless, the Portuguese man-of-war can be dangerous. Its sting might not look deadly, but it can give you a shock to your body. For some people, it could cause an allergic reaction so strong that it might even be life-threatening. So, if you ever see one, admire from a distance. Stonefish. The stonefish is one of the most dangerous creatures on Earth. It's not just venomous, it's the most venomous fish in the world. Unlike the box jellyfish, which is also deadly, the stonefish hides in plain sight. Its body shape and color make it blend perfectly with the rocky ocean floor. You won't know it's there until you step on it or touch it, and that's when the trouble begins. If you do get stung, the pain is excruciating, and without treatment it can be deadly. The venom can kill in a matter of hours and you'll suffer through it. But there is hope. Quick treatment can help reduce the pain and improve your chances of survival. Just be careful and keep an eye out when you're diving or exploring the waters. This hidden killer is always waiting for the wrong step. The deadly flower urchin. The flower urchin may look harmless, but don't be fooled. At first glance, it seems like a pretty underwater blossom blending in with coral reefs and sandy seafloors, but touch it and you'll regret it. This creature hides one of the most venomous defenses in the ocean. It may not attack first, but once you get too close, its tiny hair-like structures snap shut and inject venom, causing intense pain. The flower urchin lives in warm Pacific waters, and it's just waiting for the wrong move from an unsuspecting diver. Its sting is worse than a simple poke. The venom doesn't just hurt, it keeps releasing toxins, leading to paralysis, breathing problems, and confusion. In some cases, it can even stop you from getting back to the surface, making drowning a real threat. So, next time you're exploring the ocean, be careful. You don't want to mess with the flower urchin. The Gulper eel. Ever heard of a creature that's got a mouth bigger than its body? Meet the Gulper eel, also known as the pelican eel. Just like the blobfish, this eel looks totally different when brought up to the surface. Its massive mouth makes it look strange and hard to study, but that big mouth isn't just for show. It's used to gulp down prey much larger than itself. The Gulper eel can open its jaw wide thanks to a flexible hinge, making it one of the oddest creatures of the deep. And get this, the Gulper eel's tail isn't for attacking like you might expect. Instead, it's used for swimming and even communicating. This eel's tail helps it move through the water and send signals to others. It's a real oddball with some features that just don't make sense, but that's what makes it so fascinating. Fangtooth fish, tiny but deadly. Ever seen a creature that looks so scary it could be straight out of a horror movie? The fangtooth fish is one of those creatures. With its sharp, menacing teeth and an angry look on its face, it seems like something you'd want to avoid at all costs. But here's the twist. It's tiny. At just 16 centimeters long, it's far smaller than you'd expect for something so vicious-looking. Now here's where it gets even weirder. Despite its small size, the fangtooth fish has fangs so big it can take down much larger fish. It's almost like nature gave it an evil look and some serious power, even though it's not much of a threat to humans. So why does such a tiny fish need such huge teeth? Now that's the real mystery. The Barreleye. Have you ever seen a creature so strange that it looks almost unreal? Meet the Barreleye, one of the most unique animals you'll ever come across. What makes it stand out is its nearly transparent body, especially its head. If you look closely, you'll notice its eyes are always pointing upwards. This strange feature has puzzled scientists for years. So why does it look up all the time? Well, the Barreleye lives in the deep dark waters where sunlight barely reaches. Its clear head lets it capture any small light that does make it down, helping it see better in the darkness. But the real mystery is why it looks up. It's not just for food. The Barreleye uses its special vision to spot dangerous creatures above, giving it a better chance to survive. It's a perfect example of evolution at work. Red-bellied piranha. When you hear piranha, what comes to mind? A terrifying fish that can rip you apart in seconds, right? Well, that's the picture many movies and cartoons paint for us. But here's the surprise. The red-bellied piranha isn't the monster it's made out to be. While they do eat meat, they're not the bloodthirsty killers you might think. In reality, they're omnivores, meaning they'll eat almost anything, and they hunt in groups. Not to attack prey, but to stay safe from predators. One piranha alone won't bother you, but a swarm can be a threat. So, are these piranhas actually man-eaters? Not at all. In fact, they're so calm that people even keep them as aquarium pets. Despite their bad reputation, they're more like scavengers than hunters. They won't bite unless you bother them first. Thanks to movies, we've been fed the idea that they're dangerous monsters, but in truth, they're pretty tame. Just leave them alone and they'll do the same. Dumbo octopus. Have you ever heard of a creature named after Disney's Dumbo? It's real and it's called the Dumbo octopus. With its big floppy ears, it's easy to see why it got the name. The ears make it look like a tiny elephant floating in the water, but don't let its cute appearance fool you. This little octopus is tough. What might surprise you even more is where this octopus lives. Even though it only grows up to 1.8 meters long, the Dumbo octopus is the deepest dwelling octopus in the world. Some have been found 7,000 meters below the ocean's surface. Small but mighty, this octopus deserves our respect. Vampire squid. Get ready for a creature that thrives in one of the most extreme places on Earth. The vampire squid lives in the midnight zone of the ocean, where there's almost no light and very little oxygen. In fact, it lives in a part of the ocean called the minimal zone, where oxygen levels are only 3%. But don't worry about this squid. It has some crazy adaptations. Its blood, skin, and even its shell are all designed to help it survive in such a harsh environment, allowing it to use less oxygen and keep things slow and steady. But here's the creepy part. This squid isn't called a vampire for no reason. If you look under its tentacles, you'll see something wild. Sharp, pointy teeth hidden under a dark cloak-like membrane. These teeth are ready to grab anything that comes too close and pull it straight into the squid's mouth. The stingray's hidden danger. Stingrays might not be the weirdest creatures on this list, but they're definitely unique. Unlike the manta ray, which doesn't have the dangerous stingers, stingrays are known for their sharp, painful sting. They usually won't attack humans unless they feel threatened or someone gets too close. But if you do get stung, it really hurts, and you'll need to get treated quickly to avoid more pain. What's even more surprising is that there are 45 species of stingrays that are actually endangered. Overfishing has caused their numbers to drop, making them a rare sight in some parts of the world. So, while they're not actively hunting people, the stingray's sting is just one of many reasons we should be careful and protect these incredible creatures. The frilled shark. Let me tell you about a creature that's like something straight out of history, the frilled shark. This shark is a living fossil, showing us that there's so much more to discover in the deep sea. It's one of only 2 lizard sharks in the world, but don't expect it to look like a regular shark. It's small, reaching just 2 meters long, and instead of looking sleek and shark-like, it resembles an eel with no dorsal fin and a body that's more elongated. What's even more mind-blowing is how this shark hunts. It curls its tail around rocks and moves like an eel to catch its prey, swallowing it whole. With 300 sharp, needle-like teeth, it's not a creature you'd want to mess with. The frilled shark's strange appearance shows us how sharks used to look, but it also helps explain why sharks evolved into the forms we're familiar with today. It's a fascinating glimpse into the past of these incredible creatures. The black swallower. Have you ever heard of a fish that eats something bigger than itself and then has to wait for it to slowly digest? Meet the black swallower. This strange fish has a wild eating habit. It can eat fish twice its size and 10 times heavier. After it swallows its giant meal, it stores it in its belly, taking a long time to digest. But here's where it gets weird. Sometimes the black swallower eats a meal so huge it actually dies before it can finish digesting. How crazy is that? Scientists have found some of these fish floating on the surface after they died, their bellies full of undigested food. It's pretty sad, but it shows just how bizarre the ocean really is. Alright folks, that's all for today. Remember, if you don't subscribe, the ocean might just send a giant squid after you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Catch you in the next dive.